Welcome to the Ascend Podcast, a podcast by and for women in the outdoors. Every episode delivers real stories, practical how-tos, and a welcoming community to help you start, sharpen, or rediscover your passion for the outdoors. Authentic women, real stories, outdoor adventures, Ascend. Presented by Ducks Unlimited, the leader in wetlands conservation. Your next adventure starts here, the Ascend Podcast.
Welcome to the first episode of the Ascend podcast brought to you by Ducks Unlimited. I'm Adrian Jessen, and I am one of 4 hosts that you are going to meet today. Ascend, if you don't know, is an all-new web series and podcast brought to you by Ducks Unlimited, where the main objective is just to focus on females. What do females want to know? What do we want to learn? And the goal is to have as much just hardcore tips, tricks, information, valuable resources, and then to just have some really solid conversations, honestly covering the topics that we ladies care about. So guys, if you're hearing this, you're going to want to share this with your moms, your grandmas, your cousin, your sister, your daughter, your every lady in your life. You're going to want them to have this on their playlist. And ladies, you're going to want to go ahead and hit subscribe, because we're about to tell you some really, really awesome content that is coming that you are definitely not going to want to miss. So, ladies, hosts, it's really awesome to be here with you. How are you guys doing?
Great. Wonderful. Good.
Well, let's just get started. How about that? So the first thing we want to do, because it is brand new, nobody may or may not have ever seen us before. So let's go ahead. We're going to get to know our audience will get to know us a little bit better. So Bethany, let's go ahead. Let's start with you. Let's tell everybody who you are, where you're from, how you got into the hunting outdoor world, and then go ahead while we're here and share how that people can find you on social media.
Yeah, so I'm Bethany Beathard, and I am from Oklahoma, and I've lived a little bit of everywhere. My husband's in the military. I'm a mom of 5 kids, and we homeschool, and we just recently relocated to Georgia, so super exciting there. You can find me on Instagram at Our Abundant Home, or LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere else, Bethany Beathard. And I got started in the outdoors. I kind of grew up barefoot childhood, 55 acres, grab a gun, shoot a pop can off the fence post type thing. But I really grew up a marksman. I didn't really head into hunting, just a few hunts throughout my childhood, but really as an adult, I just, for the past, decade and over, I just really been diving into outdoors and hunting, and whatever's the next season, I'm picking up the next gun, crossbow, compound, whatever it is, and head into the woods.
Awesome. What about you, Erin? Give us all the rundown. Let us know who you are.
So my name's Erin Crider. I'm out of Colorado, and I am a quote-unquote adult-onset hunter. So I learned how to hunt at the age of 31, and I've been hunting for 7 or 8 years now. I grew up in Missouri. My grandma taught me how to fish, and now I own I quit my corporate job to create an outfitter for women called Uncharted Outdoors Women, who we are all women that guide, and all of our clients are women, and we teach women how to hunt. Most of the guides that I learned from have hunted their entire life, like many of y'all. And so I mainly chase birds. I think I might, if there's another female waterfowl guide in the Western United States, please reach out. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, I chase kind of everything. I'm a student of nature, and my passion is to create safe, compassionate spaces for women to learn how to do all the things outside so they have confidence and can purchase a hunting and fishing license year after year.
And where can people find you on social media?
I'm on the gram. You can just type in Erin Crider, or my current handle is Erin Broke Trail, or at Uncharted_outdoorswomen.
And all that's Instagram?
Yep.
Perfect.
I'm on Facebook too. I'm a millennial.
Still hanging on.
I'm hanging on.
Love it. That's right.
Love it.
All right, Julia, let us know about you.
Okay. My name's Julia Stallings. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but I just moved to Lafayette, Louisiana. I am a professional shotgun shooter. I've been doing it for 10 years. I shot with Team USA. I did high school, college, the whole 9 yards with just shooting. And that kind of sparked my interest for the outdoors. My main focus was shooting shotguns, loving it, loving everything when it had to do with marksmanship. And then I saw there was a whole new world out there. And I was like, how do I get in this? And it took a while, but I'm learning still to this day and I have a blast with it. It's a great outlet. It helps with community outreach. I love it because I also get to teach the next generation how to do it. And that's a passion of mine. So I do all that. You can find me on Instagram at jstallings11 and I'm on Facebook and YouTube and all that 9 yards too.
Awesome. Well, I'm Adrian Jessen, and I'll go ahead and put this out there. All of my handles are Review This Thing. So Instagram, Facebook, I'm old, TikTok and X and YouTube. So we have a YouTube channel called Review This Thing where, creatively enough, we review things. And when we started the channel, it was kind of, the goal was to be lots of stuff, not just outdoors things, but just by the nature of what we love to do. It niched into a lot more outdoor content and then even further down into hunting gear, guns, ammo, turkey loads, all that. So the channel is lots of outdoor things, but a lot of guns and a lot of shooting, which, I mean, so awful to have to do that. We have a really good time with it, a lot of fun. I'm also an adult onset hunter. I grew up, I think people hunted. It just wasn't a common thing. So I didn't know anybody that hunted, and met my husband. He's hunted since he was a little boy. And when we first got married, I was not into it. I was like, yeah, you can hunt. I'm going to hunt the covers because it's cold out there. And so, a couple years in, I got tired of him going out in the yard and shooting his bow, and had nothing to do. So I was like, hey, let me shoot with you. And so I got a little bow. And then, of course, I grew up.
That's all it took.
That's it. That's it. Because you, especially if you have any competitive spirit, then once you hit that target, and you're like, oh, well, maybe.
The sound.
Thump. Funk. You're like, oh, yeah, maybe I can shoot an animal. So then bow hunted for a while and then was like, well, my season will be longer if I shoot guns too. So got into shooting guns, got into hunting that way, deer, mainly whitetail. And then I don't know why, but just a few years ago, I think it's been 6 or 7 years ago, started turkey hunting, which is my absolute favorite. But so that's kind of always been outside, but just never in the hunting world until, I guess, gosh, it's been a long time now. It's 18 years. So it's been a minute, but it doesn't feel like that long. But yeah, we basically, if we can get outside. I currently live in North Carolina. I grew up in Tennessee as well. The East Coast, or Eastern Tennessee, but currently live in North Carolina and just try to hunt whenever we can, whatever we can. Well, that the cool thing that I noticed, and you guys can chime in if you picked up anything else, but we are 4 very different people with different backgrounds, different origin stories, different interests, which I think is going to be really, really cool for this podcast because all female outdoorsmen, I won't even just say hunters, because we're going to pour into the people who prefer fishing. We're going to pour into hikers and homesteaders. And, this isn't just going to be about hunting. So the super cool thing, I know we were chatting before and Erin talked about having a garden, and I know Bethany's done a ton of that kind of stuff. And so it's going to be really fun to have these 4 different backgrounds, personalities, and the people that we have some overflow in who we know, but also we have a wide variety of ladies that we know that we can bring in. So I think that's super cool. I think
there's nothing else like it. Yeah, there's nothing else. No one else is doing this.
Yeah.
And I love that we're all in different ages and stages too. And we're, but we find common ground on the outdoors.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's very full circle.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have Julia, who's just about to get married. And then we have, I think we figured out Bethany's the only mom in this group so far. But so she knows all about hunting as a mom, especially if I'm not wrong, Bethany, you hunt solo a lot, right?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah, so that's something I'm gonna be definitely talking about, hunting solo, taking your kids along because I have to take my kids along a lot of the time, and also just getting them in the outdoors and bringing the next generation and how integral the female piece is in doing that. I'm looking forward to talking about that and talking to other moms because it's a natural progression for a lot of women in the outdoors that they grew up doing it. It's either you're around other moms, your friends are moms, you become a mom. So yeah, you can definitely look for that kind of content for me.
That's really cool. And I know just again, Julia's been in the industry since you were a kid, basically.
I mean, I would say actually, so my dad was the one who got into hunting, and I didn't start shooting or getting into the outdoors really until my sophomore year of high school. My all-girls school Catholic nun teacher signed me up for shooting because I was from the boonies in Memphis.
That's
So, I mean,
awesome.
I feel like I'm a little late bloomer. I didn't like grow up with it, but I mean, later in life, later.
Right. Later in your youth.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have to start somewhere and, you're like, where do I even begin? There's no like to-do book or like
Absolutely.
a
Not yet.
resource. Not yet.
We're working on
it.
That's awesome. So, like I know we're all really excited to bring this podcast to you guys. Well, I do want to talk about a little bit. We touched on it, but right now, as this episode is airing, it is early September, which means some hunting is already in full swing. For a lot of us, it's just around the corner. So, you guys just jump in. What hunts do you have coming that you're super excited about? What do you have planned? Let us know.
I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited to break out my shotgun and go wheel and deal in the field for some doves and then hit the ducks. But that's just me, shotgun.
When does your dove season start?
Not this coming weekend, but the next after Labor Day weekend.
Excellent. And then ducks?
Ducks, I have to double check on that one because I moved. I was like, gotta double check.
Gotta check those regs.
Yeah.
Smart. We'll talk about that in the podcast as well.
Our dove hunting season starts September 1st too, but it has been raining and 60 degrees at my house. I live about an hour outside of Denver in the foothills, and we actually do get doves up here, but these storms always show up the week before and push all the doves south. So enjoy if you're south of Colorado. So I'll be this week or hunting opener. I'll be out in northwest Colorado, picking up some porcinis and chanterelle mushrooms in the flat top wilderness, and then we're gonna hunt grouse on our way out of the. I think takes like 2 hours to get out of the lodge that we're staying at. So me and one of my girlfriends. So we're gonna do some fly fishing for some wild cutties and the wildflowers and hopefully see some birds on the way back.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
So you like lots of mushroom hunting? Is that a big thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mushroom hunting is definitely big out here. It hasn't been the greatest season for foraging, but you can, I quit my corporate job to try and live more sustainably off the land. So if I can get some mushrooms, because my husband and I, we eat really healthy. If I can get them dehydrated and packed away and sealed for winter, like that's just more nutrition that I can bring into my diet, not have to drive 45 minutes to the grocery store for.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah. But the trip that I'm most excited about this year is probably the one that I go on annually. I've been going, like, it's where I learned to hunt. I actually learned to hunt in Wyoming. So, it's our secret's out. Thermopolis, Wyoming is kind of like my ideal place to go. It has the world's largest hot springs, y'all. The world's largest hot springs. Okay. Selling point number one. The small businesses there love hunters and anglers, and they're so welcoming. There's so much public land, and we kind of start off with a little duck hunt So I'll call in some ducks for the girls, and then we'll do some upland hunting. I love hunting with dogs. It is so much fun after you kind of get over that you're hunting with a dog. It's really not that scary. It's so most of the time I'm just like watching them work and taking pictures. And I miss a lot of birds, which is fine. The dogs don't appreciate that, but then we get on boats and we do some fly fishing down the river in November. It seems to get later and later every year too. Might be December this year. We went in January and it was good finally, but the birds were kind of held up there last year. So when I guess you could say I was scouting up there, by the time they came to Colorado, they were smart. So I knew no mojos, not calling real hard. By the time they got here, and that worked out. And then we always get turkey tags. And last year we got deer tags. So we had ducks, geese, grouse, partridge, chucker, turkeys, and a deer, and fish. And I just like the options, because if it's like bright and sunny out, I'm not going duck hunting. Like, I'm gonna go upland hunting, right? But if it's like storming, like windy Wyoming likes to do, you have to be prepared for the wind. Then, it's ducks. We're doing ducks that day.
That's cool. That's neat to have all those options.
Yeah, I love Wyoming. Spend your money there. They need it. Any part of Wyoming.
Yeah. We're a military family, and I just moved to Georgia literally last week. So I am really looking forward to taking advantage of the military installation. That's something that I have a heart for, sharing for military spouses as well. Some of them are also open to civilians, depending on where you live. But the military has a lot of land. So this is the largest base this side of the Mississippi as far as acreage. And so there's a lot of land, and they're all huntable acres. It's really public land with extra regulations. So just think of it like that. But I'm looking forward to just learning a new place, kind of growing my skills as a sportswoman, and getting my kids more in the outdoors, because they're kind of getting to that really sweet spot of 12, 10, 8, like really wanting to, they've harvested a few things, but now they're like, when's the next turkey season? I want a deer. And we also have a doe management hunt that we're all going on. And so hopefully a couple of my kids will get their first deer this year. And I'll be up in North Carolina. So I'm I'm more excited for them to hunt this year than my hunt. So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Now, is that a gun hunt?
It is,
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
It's in November, kind of around your parts in North Carolina. I think more on the west side.
Oh,
yeah.
That
So
sounds
exciting.
super fun.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I bet that it's neat. So my husband, who got me into hunting, is if he's with someone who kills something they've never done, he is more excited than if he killed 5 of them. Like, you would think. We have a buddy that just talks about Robbie is the most excited human on the planet when someone else kills something. So I bet your kids, I can't imagine.
Oh man, we had a really fun youth hunt in Oklahoma. We did the youth military duck waterfowl day. And so I'm not even holding a gun. I'm not even hunting at all. And that was probably the most memorable, best hunt I went on, because 2 of my kids got their first ducks and my husband got to hunt. We had a couple other military there and I had a blast. And so, yeah, I'm super excited. Whenever I see the kids, it's really more than them harvesting it. It's the passion that I see grow in them. So I'm like, okay, I'm just a link in the chain now to this hunting heritage. I talk a lot about hunting heritage, and to see them carrying it on and instilling and they each kind of have their own passions. You'll see one's going to be a duck hunter, one's going to be a turkey hunter, one's going to gravitate. My boys love to go fishing. So it's really just fun to see where they're, kind of gravitating towards.
That's awesome. That's really
That is
cool.
really cool. Yeah.
So I am doing something I've never done in a couple weeks, actually, very soon. I'm going on a ladies only whitetail hunt. So I've never been on a group hunt, especially a deer hunt. I've gone on one snow goose hunt, but this is my first ever ladies only. So we'll see how that goes. That may end up being a podcast episode, but so I'm excited about it though. It's in Missouri, so it's actually really close to where we've been hunting for years. So at least it'll be kind of familiar location, but that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we'll whitetail hunt in North Carolina. And actually, I'm really excited about this. I think somehow I keep putting it in the back of my mind because I don't want to get too excited too soon. But in November, we are heading out, my husband and I, out to Oregon for a cow elk hunt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
I'm so excited. We both are going to have tags. So yeah, we're pretty pumped. We've been elk hunting. He's been 3 or 4 times. I went once when he went, and we've yet to bring one home. So
I
Are
think
you
that's
taking-
normal. That's normal.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
You have to go for the experience with elk, just hearing one bugle back is like the coolest thing.
Yes.
Are you taking bets on who's going to get one first? I
So-
just want to know. A little
So here's the
competition.
thing. I will probably, I don't know, because and originally he wasn't going to have a tag. So originally, or we didn't think he was going to have a tag. So it was like, oh, I'm just going to be there. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be exciting. And then when we found out we were going to be able to get him a tag, it was like, okay. Well, when we went on our last trip to Montana, I was like, you're shooting first. You get one. You've done the work. You get one first. And then after you kill one, then give me the gun. But so I don't know. I don't know if this one he's like, no, like this is your trip. You get one first, or if it's
Take
I'll
it.
be like,
Yeah.
Don't let him
Yeah.
come first.
Yeah, heck no.
So
That's
that's,
so
my
funny.
thinking, that he will be like, yeah, you take the first one, and then we'll worry about me. That's my thinking is what he'll want to do.
My husband does not hunt, and my husband, I have taken him goose hunting, and he actually did get 2 geese. I'm going to thank myself for calling those in. He got his first big game tags this year because I've been putting in points for him, and I put him in for the same tags that I put in for and have put in for 6 years now. So he
got
got
one.
them. We don't even have a rifle that fits him. I'm like all of 5'1", barely 5'2". This man is like 6 feet,
Nice.
230. And I'm like, so I don't think my Youth Compact 243 is going to work for your pronghorn.
You're like, oh, this is going to be painful.
That's right. He's got
Yeah.
his scopes. Like, oh,
yeah,
God,
just
oh.
straight
Yeah.
in the eyes. When we come back and you have pictures and he's like, oh, I've been abused. That's Erin. I'm going to
I
look at
know.
you.
Big gash.
We're hoping to come back both alive at this point.
Nice.
He was like, hey, I got these emails. And then like when I read that he got the Colorado licenses, I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He got them. And I'm over here with like, I have a buck tag in my home unit. It's super vertical. They're just like timber ghosts, right? These mule deer. They're really tough to find. Some miracle, I got one last year on public land, which was great after hiking 8 miles. But yeah, very excited for him. So I really hope we get those because we want the meat,
Yeah.
He's the cook of the house.
Mm.
But he's like, oh, you're leaving at 2 a.m.? How can I not be bothered when you're leaving? How can I get you out of here?
Oh, that's funny.
Bethany, what were you going to ask?
I was going to say, I want to circle back to the all women's hunt. I was going to say, like, some of the best hunts I have ever been on have been all women's hunts. I've been on several of them. So I'm really excited to like see you partake in that
Yeah.
and like what your takeaways are from it. We'll definitely have to make that a podcast episode because I have gained literally some of the best friends that I have through those. And local community hunts, and then also travel to do them. And I know Erin has experience with that as well. And you just there's amazing women out there, whether it's industry or not. I've been on a mix of both, like some that had industry women and some were just invited, and some of them were all industry and some of them were not. So it's just really fun to see women come together like that and actually make the travel, because that's a pretty good hop for you from North Carolina to Missouri. Also, I harvested the biggest buck of my life last year in Missouri. So all the good luck to you on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping it's a thing that I'm like, yeah, let's roll. Because like, I've just recently met Erin. I'm like, well, shoot, I need to go to Colorado. We need to do a hunt together. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I think we do.
We already kind of talked about
four-part.
that. chasing turkeys through Colorado. And she was like, it's a workout. But I was like, but it will be fun. And she's like,
It
yeah.
will be so much fun. These little, it's I'm definitely going to talk about Mountain Merriam turkey hunting up here because it is like miniature elk hunting. And I feel like last year, I don't think I could have pulled a trigger on an elk, right? They're cute and furry and I love them. Also, they're really hard to find. And I'm not an archery hunter. Like they're bugling in September and you can't rifle hunt until October. And usually they're pretty wrapped up by then, but they do bugle all year. But September is that's like the sweet spot. But chasing turkeys with a shotgun, there's also other things out there that are in season. So, but
And
running
they
up
can
and down
cover a lot of
mountains
ground.
and oh my gosh, and they are so fast.
They are so fast.
Yeah, I hunted Merriam's in the sandhills of Nebraska last year, and it's like you see them, and then next second they're over to hill ridges. It's like they're really hills to you, but in Nebraska it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, okay, we were just over there, and man, it was a lot of ground. I worked for that bird, but it was one of the best hunts.
That's funny. That's really funny because when I was on my job interview, I was turkey hunting and they called me 30 minutes early and I'm not even gonna lie. It was the job of my lifetime. I answer the phone and see the turkeys. I go down just to hit the end button to tell them I have to call them back. The turkeys vanished. I was like, come on. Seriously.
Oh, that's awful. It's fun
funny.
though. That's what makes
They
it
are.
worth doing.
So
if it was
worth it.
easy, it wouldn't be fun.
Exactly.
That's what I tell myself. If it was easy, it wouldn't be fun.
Oh yeah, no. I was telling one of my girlfriends earlier, she's super nervous about her first archery elk hunt and she's all worked up about it, right? Cuz on another thing I want to talk about on this podcast is expectations as a new hunter, right?
Yeah.
And I told her she just thinks I'm going to get this elk. I'm not in shape. I haven't been shooting as much. And I'm like, you got to go for the adventure. Right? I think the average in Colorado is one elk every 7 years for public land, right? This is not a get out of the truck and shoot it from the truck situation. This is scouting most of the year, understanding how their behavior, how to call to them, how to trick them. Because all the loud ones, they've been shot, right? It's the sneaky ones that those are the big boys. But I was just like, what if you shot an elk on day one, opening morning, then what? Cool. But you have 6 days that you plan to be out there with your friend, right? And I would give up a lot of meat I have earned for just having those 6 days with the adventures, everything that you see, sticking it out in the elements, because then you those stories are forever. The meat isn't, right? And the state gets your tag money, and that lasts forever. So you got to go for the adventure on the expectations, especially if you're new, right? You just want to be prepared, have a good time, because animals aren't guaranteed.
Yep.
Unless you have a lot of money.
Yeah, I would love to talk more about that too, because I elk hunted in Oklahoma. A lot of people don't know that Oklahoma have elk, and they're actually were hunted to extinction. And so it's a really big conservation story because the elk that are currently in Oklahoma are part of the Wyoming Jackson Pole herd. And they were actually gifted to the little refuge that are there. I think there was 12 of them, and now we have over 5,000 manageable species that they hunt. So it's really great. And I harvested my first elk on Fort Sill. So the military and the hunting refuges is a once in a lifetime tag, butt up to each other. It's the same herds that go back and forth. And it is such a challenge, but some of the best times that I had was I didn't get an elk, or I got so close and, didn't have close the gap. I was heartbroken last year by a really nice bull because, it's the terrain that you're hunting in Oklahoma is totally different than what you're hunting in Colorado. And so it's really interesting. I would love to pick your brain on that and kind of compare stuff. And, I harvested a cow solo by myself. And that's probably one of my proudest hunts that I've had today because I just had baby number 5, no babysitter. Husband had to stay home with the baby, legit in it. So yeah, that'd be fun to talk about.
That's cool.
Definitely.
Well, ladies, let's take a little quick break. We got to give our sponsors a time to tell all the listeners about it. So let's just take a quick break.
Dry Pocket, gear that stands up to the wild. Experience waterproof hunting gear and Mossy Oak's signature camo design for every hunt. Built to be waterproof, durable, and reliable, you can trust your gear when it matters most. Stay dry, stay ready. Our products float with a watertight seal, keeping your essentials airtight and scent-free. The top seals automatically, no manual closure needed. With Dry Pocket's Mossy Oak collection, you're ready for any adventure. Gear up at drypocket.com and use promo code ASCEND for a special offer. From the marsh to the mountains, trust starts from the ground up. For over 25 years, the original MUCK boot company has built 100% waterproof boots designed to keep hunters dry, warm, and comfortable in the toughest conditions. Our boots are made to perform as hard as you do. Stay dry, stay comfortable, and stay in the hunt with MUCK boots. 100% waterproof, built for the toughest conditions. MUCK, the official boot of hunters.
Welcome back. One thing we've touched on, or actually we talked quite a bit about, is all ladies hunts. And so one thing we want to bring value, as we said, with this podcast. Like, we want there to be a take-home lesson each episode. So y'all who have a community, each of you have talked about having kind of a community of hunters and outdoors women. Give some tips on how to find that community, how to grow that community. Just share that with our listeners.
Oh, this is like my wheelhouse.
Oh, here we go.
Erin, take it away.
So when I first moved to Colorado, I really wanted to learn how to fly fish, right? And I could not find a women's program. Like, I just want to take some classes. And I was on Facebook, right? Millennial. And there was this group, Colorado Women on the Fly. And so I just started posting in there that I'm looking for someone to go with. Let it be known that Facebook is still being used, and people looking for community are in Facebook groups and they're active, right? Like, it's so hard to find that on Instagram or YouTube because there's not like little rooms. Like, if you're like, hey, I just want to go turkey hunting or fly fishing or cat fishing, there's a Facebook group for it. Put in there, put a photo, because it's really, grabs people's attention. And that is just, I feel like, the best way.
Because that will get you more local people as well. Like, you're not like, oh, these people are great, but they're in Texas. It's nowhere near me.
Yeah.
So
I think something that the woman community does well is online community, but we all are everywhere. And a lot of states do have, like, Oklahoma Women in the Outdoors, or, Wilderness, Artemis, Women of the Wild. A lot of them have like roll call on their pages where you can go find women in your state, and they get together.
Also, Girl with a Gun, because like that's kind of how I got into the community, is like through the shooting world, specifically like sporting clays or trap, because those things kind of overlap. I found a lot of women in those events and just kind of reached out to say, hey, do you hunt? Do you hunt?
Yeah.
Like, the women, if you're looking to get into waterfowl hunting, I post a lot of just information about the migration in the Women of Waterfowl. I think there's 2 Women of Waterfowl groups. The one that has 10,000 people in it, I like feed information and try and like start community in there. I do cut out anyone that seems like a scammy, person trying to do, cause harm to our community. And that's been a very good place to start. There's so many beginners. There's women in there with discount codes for gear. There's just a lot of thought leaders and a lot of knowledge that goes into that community. And I'm constantly trying to like pull it out. Like, the migration reports started coming out yesterday, and I found like 3 of them, and I started throwing those in there. Also to set expectations again, like full circle, because this is a La Nina year. What does that mean for birds? Because it's not it's not going to be normal, right?
If you say so.
Yes. It's going to be a tough year for the west, or for like the western flyways, but the eastern flyways, like, I look at the Farmer's Almanac and it's going to be so cold there that I'm like, maybe I should book a trip. like, maybe I should call one of my girlfriends in New York and be like, what are you doing in October? Can I please fly in so I at least have some dumb birds to call in versus like ours are going to be held up in Montana and Wyoming and then they get here. And Colorado only has 1% water. So if the ranchers out east, like eastern Colorado looks like Kansas, right? So this is just like some of the knowledge I put in there in the Women of Waterfowl Facebook group. If eastern Colorado experiences drought like we have last year and this year, and all of the ranchers' ponds and irrigation ditches are empty, those birds are going to skip us. Or they go to Oklahoma, Bethany.
I know, it makes me so sad. Like, man, I can say I have had some of the best waterfowl hunts in Oklahoma. I'm really sad because we have family land there, and I just got my first puppy gun dog that I got for waterfowl, and now I'm here in Georgia and there's gators, and I have to learn this whole learning curve when I can let my dog in the water. And I keep talking to people like, "Oh, you're gonna miss Oklahoma." Like, and I'm like, "Don't say that to me." I know I'm gonna miss it. I know I'm gonna miss it.
That's right.
So I'm sure it's gonna be fine, and I'm still gonna have ducks down here, but it might not be the honey hole that we had in Oklahoma because the flyway have definitely shifted over there.
Bethany, where did you, and this can be generic or specific, where have you found the women's only hunts that you've been on?
So I have went on a couple different ones, some in Oklahoma. Some of the programs as far as like NWTF, Quail Pheasants Forever, they do a really good job as far as like gun, like shotgun clinics and stuff like that, upland. And a lot of those women, like they're all over the board, all the organizations. The DU community down in the Fort Sill is really active as far as pulling women in and hosting like women only days. And so I really found that just in my local community and actually during COVID and the Oklahoma Wildlife Department started doing this, but they did fireside chats where it was women only. So they would have a woman game warden, they had one of their woman liaisons. And then everybody that could sign up for like a webinar type thing. And we kind of talked. And through that, I met people too. And then other thing was just like industry hunts. You know, I've been on the NRA Hunters Leadership Forum, hosted a women only hunt last year. That was one in Missouri. Been on Remington, held a women's only hunt, a duck hunt in Arkansas. And I went on that. So kind of like all over the place. I've also just like been on some of those online groups and bought a slot and went to a hog hunt in the middle of Texas. Didn't know anybody and met some of the best friends I ever met. Actually, my roommate was 65 and she had the best gear. She was harvested a hog before all of us. And I was like, I literally got the best roommate right now. And she didn't learn to hunt till after 40. And she was like, yeah, I'm retired and I just go around and hunt and do all this stuff. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I've been to Canada, I've been to Africa. And I'm like, this lady is awesome. I would have never met her if I didn't sign up for this hog hunt on this random thing. So kind of everywhere that I found the hunts.
That's cool. Julia, now you hunt as well, obviously, but like, are there women's like shooting groups? I know you mentioned a couple, but where could people maybe find if like their interest isn't hunting, but just shooting?
Yeah. I mean, so how I got involved in one women's hunt that I did get to go on was, I was in the industry of shooting, obviously. And then we were like paired up with Remington Ammunition. And so what we did was she actually put it on. I got to participate because we were the same. But we had a group. I want to say there is a group called Girl with a Gun that they have in all the local events. And most of those ladies, great group to be a part of if you're trying to get into something. They all hunt. Majority of them. I've not met, but maybe like 5 people out of a group that didn't hunt or that didn't participate in the outdoors. And so that was kind of how I got in with the women's side of it. And it was really interesting to see because I was like, I didn't know those correlated, like pistol shooting, not even shotgun shooting, but pistol shooting. And I'm like, oh, y'all hunt. Huh. Well, we all like just come join.
That's right. Well, since you're going to shoot stuff, I would like to come along.
I was like, we're buying ammo at the same place? Oh, well, where do you duck hunt? Where's your hole? And you're like, that's kind of close where I hunt. You want to hunt together when you have the birds? So
that's cool.
Yeah, it kind of worked out. It works.
And I feel
if you're in Texas, Texas Women Outdoors. They have so many events. Highly recommend them. Extremely professional. I know Kelly goes back and researches and like not research. She goes to the outfitter's property to make sure that it's real.
Mhm.
That is
Eh,
key. Like,
yeah.
what does the lodge look like? Does it smell like smoke and cigars? Or is it really nice with
Check.
clean sheets? You know, what are they
Yeah.
feeding us? Like, she checks all that out. So if you're in Texas, check out TWO. And there's a Facebook group and a page and an Instagram and all the things.
So
That's
it's like
cool.
a Yelp for outdoors.
No, it's just women's hunts, like
Oh,
for
okay.
Texas.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, like, where is this? Let's sign up right now.
Yeah.
We should create a Yelp for the outdoors.
Yeah, can we create one so
That's
we
right.
can rate
Let's work on.
everything?
Let's get on that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure. Again, this podcast we're just getting it rolling, but I feel certain there'll be show notes, and in each episode they can always link to the organizations. I know in speaking to the people over at DU, they want this to be collaborative, so it's not just Ducks Unlimited focused stuff. So if there's an organization like that you guys have mentioned, I feel certain that we want to just grow a big community where women can learn what they want to learn and need to know so that it keeps growing. And Bethany, like you said, we are hunters in general are a very small portion of the population, and female
2%.
hunters. There you go.
2%.
What are females?
That's 2%.
Ah, okay. So yeah, so 2% of the population are us. And
Mhm.
if we want to continue to have our access and the opportunities, then we gotta keep growing. So
Mhm.
yeah, let's speaking of, because of that, we at this podcast want to be part of your community. We want to be part of your group of people that you can look to and seek for advice and suggestions and that sort of thing. So, what we want to kind of round out with is we want to tell you guys some things that we know are coming, episodes that are getting filmed and recorded in the next few days. So let's go through. Erin, tell us what are at least a couple of episodes you've got coming.
Sure. So I'm going to bring a lot of perspective from the Western hunting range. So I've hunted in Montana, Wyoming, Colorado is kind of my territory. And the Midwest is very different. I've never really hunted in the Midwest, so I'm going to be bringing a lot of that Western experience, like you don't elk hunt from a tree stand kind of situation. Definitely the science behind waterfowl migrations and how that works, so you can kind of set your expectations for when you're about to go into a hunt. You don't leave with like, shoot, I didn't get my limit, but I met, 6 amazing women. Those kinds of things. How if you are learning how to hunt as an adult, or maybe you were like, we get a lot of gals from Michigan and Minnesota that grew up hunting and fishing. They move here and they're just trying to get back into it, and it's kind of like, I don't know, really, did I even learn right? Like, this is a safe space, and I want to continue to bring that compassion to create the safe space with the people that I bring on. There's no dumb question, and I mean it, because if it was a dumb question, I've definitely asked it. But that's kind of where I'll be coming from and bringing a lot of perspective, as it wasn't that long ago and I'm always learning new things about hunting. Like, I consider myself a newer big game hunter. So the thoughts that go through my head before a hunt are very top of mind and fresh versus someone that's done it their entire life. So I'm going to bring that anxiety to you so we can cure it and you can walk into your hunt ready to pull the trigger, or have a better expectation than just if you're on a do-it-yourself hunt, that is. And give you the confidence to buy that hunting and fishing licenses every year in your favorite states to support conservation.
Awesome. What about you, Julia? What are some episodes we know are coming for you?
Well, I know I'm a little unique, so probably going to be, tips and tricks on shooting, feeling comfortable from the get-go. I
Oh,
think
that's important.
that's like it's super important, especially from recoil. Like, a lot of people get nervous. They're like, where do I even begin? I want to get in the doors, but the gun part scares me, or the, bow scares me, or how do I even know what to shoot? I love to bring that perspective to the outdoors, as well as like youth generation. Like, hey, how can we get these people out there? Where are the networks? Where are those communities? How can you find them in those weird places? And then also talking about like the, not taboo topics, but like, okay, what not to do, the etiquette part aside, like people don't want to talk about that, right? And they're like, how do I say that but not say that? I'm going to let someone else talk about it.
That's right.
Let's bring them up. Let's just call it out. Like call a spade a spade. Let's open the front door
There
and
you
let's get it
go.
all out. Because I feel like as a new like outdoors woman, I guess outdoors woman, I want to say outdoorsman, um, as a new woman in the outdoors, it's hard. It's so hard because you want to know, but you don't want to ask. And I feel like if we can start talking about those things, people are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been waiting for. So I would like to bring that perspective out because I'm not like, living in the outdoors on 10. Let's be honest, that's not me. I'm just a shooter that loves being outdoors. So I'm just the trigger happy person. So let's, make our shots.
That's right. Okay.
So we can eat.
That's right. Yep.
But I love to bring those kind of episodes to this, to this community.
That's awesome. Bethany, what do we got coming from you?
Well, definitely going to be hitting on being a mom in the outdoors and some of those obstacles that we face as having kids and, maybe military spouse not having, babysitter, hunting between nap time and baby care. But I definitely will be talking about just hunting heritage and conservation starting at home, maybe some women that have disabilities in the outdoors and overcoming that kind of thing, raising your first gun dog as a mom. And I definitely have that one's onslaughted for sure. And some just tips and tricks around that. So, and I might dabble in a little bit of gear. I definitely need to bring you on for that and just like talk about, gear, because that's definitely been a big part of me as a freelancer, as I've written a lot about gear. And so we definitely need to talk about that. But really just the part of just women community, finding women in the outdoors. And I definitely am going to bring some women on that are part of some amazing communities or instructors and stuff like that.
Awesome. Yeah. And I'm telling you guys, I know I've said this and I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. This is going to be some really great episodes. It's a couple of things that I'm hoping to talk about. We've got a couple people that have a lot of experience knocking on doors, ladies who have learned how to be confident and ask permission to hunt property. We're going to bring her on and help us figure out how to do that. How to find a mentor. Having a mentor, I think, is huge. I was very blessed that my husband has been my mentor and some friends, but
So
if you-
lucky. So lucky.
yeah. It's been amazing. Like, if not for him, I wouldn't be doing any of this. So, but like, what if you don't have that? How do you find that person that can encourage you and be your cheerleader and show you what to do? And then the flip of that, Erin, you touched on this, but then how do you once you've been given that blessing, how do you then return that? How do you be a mentor? So just trying to get those conversations going. Definitely want to talk about, and Julia, this will be right up your alley, but the importance of gun safety. Like, I need to learn how to shoot my pistol well. So if I need to carry it and I need to use it, I'm going to use it well and be comfortable with it. And then even the laws that surround that, feeling comfortable to carry and keep yourself protected. So, how to find safe and reliable group hunts, like you were talking about with the groups.
So important.
Yeah, and making sure, like with Erin's group, remind me.
Uncharted Outdoors Women.
So Uncharted Outdoors Women, and then I've talked to a couple other ladies that have great companies that put these hunts together. But how do you make sure they're legit and they're not just?
How do you make sure they're legit and insured and that the food isn't going to be disgusting?
Yeah. So Erin will be involved in that little chat, but and then we've talked about this, but you love being outdoors and you've thought about hunting, but if you don't have somebody, how do you do it? What do you do? So there's so much stuff we can talk about. Also, hopefully we talked on potentially having several just group Q&As, people write in their questions and we just, from all of our perspectives, hammer it out. And
that would be so much fun.
So much fun. Yeah. So hopefully we can get several of those going. On that note, if you have a topic that you're like, absolutely, let's talk about this. I need to hear from experts. Not that that's us, but we can bring in the experts. But we want to hear, like, how do I this? How do I that? Then just send an email, comment, and let us know what those are. And I mean, sky's the limit. We kind of have been given free rein to make this what we want it to be and what you guys want it to be. So I know that we are super excited. All of us are geared up, ready to go. As we said, guys, share this podcast with every woman in your life, even if she doesn't think she's a hunter or an outdoors woman yet. We'll see what we can do. So share it with her as well. Ladies, subscribe. You're not going to regret it. This is going to be so much fun, and we want you guys to be involved in it just as much as we are. So definitely be part of it. Be part of this community. Ascend is your community just as much as it is ours. So I'm Adrian with Bethany, Julia, and Erin, encouraging you guys to follow your story wherever it takes you.
Thank you for listening to the Ascend podcast. New every week, the conservation-driven podcast 1 week and our adventure video series the next. Watch the Ascend Adventure episodes on the Ducks Unlimited YouTube channel. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Opinions expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect those of Ducks Unlimited. Until next time, follow your outdoor story wherever it leads you. Ascend.